Good morning everyone, it's an absolutely beautiful morning here in the northwest of England, and I've just got a couple of apologies to make and an explanation. I'm sorry if my last video or two was a little bit not really, I'm not sure whether it was or not as good as or not as entertaining as or whatever. Something happened in the family. My mum, as many of you may know, I talk about my mum quite a bit. She's 97 and she's moved to North Yorkshire into a flat. Absolutely loving it. The best thing she's ever done in her life. She's had a fall, cracked her head against a bedside cabinet, had a stroke, and is in hospital now. She's paralysed down her left side. She's got blood clots that they can't operate on because she's just too old. So I've been up there. I went up there a couple of days ago. I came down back home yesterday about lunchtime. I got a couple of appointments and I'm going away at the weekend just for 2 nights. Now I'm still going because it's been booked a long time and I don't want to let my friend down, and I'm still looking forward to it, and I'm hoping to do a little bit of content from up there, a place called Appleby on the edge of the Lake District, and then from there I'm going to go back over to my mother's and just stay there for as long as it takes. She can't, when I went she couldn't talk at all. She's got a cochlear implant that just kept falling off. She couldn't hear a thing. I think she was still with it because I could tell with the noises she was making, she was getting frustrated. Now I've heard of my brother since that her speech seems to be getting a bit better. 97, I mean, obviously hear about that and you go up expecting the worst. But she's rallied again, she keeps doing it. The only thing is, I don't know how this is gonna improve, and I don't know what quality of life. She wants to go back home. She doesn't understand, I don't think. She wants to go back home, she wants a cup of tea, she wants some food. Well, when you have a stroke, one of the things that goes is your swallow reflex. So she can't swallow, so it's all being done fed by tube. And I don't know what kind of quality of life, whether she'll ever live independently on her own again. I tend to think not. I don't think so. And I think at 97 that by the time she kind of recovered enough, she'd be gone anyway, because it's a long process. It's like me now. I mean, I don't think I'd bother having something that would, you know, if they said, oh, you can have this operation and you'll recover in like 10 years, I'd just say, oh, can't be bothered doing that, you know. It'll take me all that time to recover and then I'll probably pop my socks. So I'm still trying to put content out, but please forgive me if it's a little bit late, sporadic, and I try to make it as good quality as I can because I want to keep it coming, especially if now that I've got people actually paying for content. I've got the members are great, the numbers are great, you know. I mean, it's not millions, but it's much better than I expected, and that's absolutely fabulous, and I thank everybody for that. When this goes out, I will probably be on my way to the Lake District, and I will have, the next members content will have already landed, and it'll all be about coming into the winter evenings and the cooler evenings and hobbies and cozying up with a nice cup of tea and a nice comfort food. It's all about that kind of thing this week. But they really don't make them like that anymore, do they? They really don't make little old ladies and little old men like they used to. And so that's something I just want to talk about today. How ghosts appear and then they fade away. The process of getting old, the process of leaving, and how we get less significant. We're translucent, we're almost invisible. to society around us. I don't want this to be maudlin, it's just an observation, a fact that's been happening as long as man, woman and other has been on this planet. We all know how life goes through significant stages. We've got childhood, we've got adolescence, we've got the teenage years, we've got young adulthood, we've got adulthood, we've got middle age. These are all significant times when we are relevant to society, when we're making a contribution, when society wants to interact, when society sees us, recognises us and acknowledges us for the person we are, for the things we are doing, for the way we are contributing to society, for good or for bad, you're still given recognition for it. Then we reach old age. And gradually, we start getting less relevant. For some, for many, and I know this, for many we become a burden. We aren't as relevant, we start to fade. We become ghosts, slowly, from retirement onwards. We don't contribute enough. But just because we don't contribute enough through the workplace doesn't mean we don't contribute enough to society. We treat our old people less well than I think we should. I mean, I haven't suffered at all because I'm active and I'm only fairly young old age. I'm 71, so you know I may have 20 years left if I'm very lucky. But people start getting a little bit translucent, getting a little less relevant. People think about you less, people talk about you less, you're less in the public eye, you're less on the news, you're less... Things you do may be as relevant as the things younger people do, but you don't get the attention, you don't get the recognition, and it's not because people are bad, it's because people are human. And it's just a process. You have become that ghost. Ghosts appear. Childhood is seen as a time of potential, of learning, of soaking up experiences, soaking up knowledge. It's like an empty vessel, just being filled with information, good and bad, learning how to go through that information, disseminate, just find out the good from the bad and hopefully live your life by the good. And old age is seen as a time when we're walking into nothingness, when we're less relevant, when we're actually coming to at least a mortal conclusion. And quite naturally, and just through the ages, it's always been the case that older people are less relevant. That doesn't mean that some cultures treat their older people, their older citizens better than others. We know this. We know that a lot of Eastern cultures revere, look after, treat their old people well and with respect. And I'm afraid that Western cultures don't follow that edict really as well as they should. We treat I'm probably as guilty of it as everybody else. We do treat our older people. Once someone is not contributing financially to the country's economy, they become less relevant. And it's wrong, isn't it? Because we have contributed all our lives. We've contributed financially, culturally, brought up kids, try to do the best we can, but it's just a natural thing. As you grow older, you become a ghost. And as you become very old, if you live that long, you fade away. You just fade away. You become a few photographs, a few memories, and those memories will only last for the generation that knew your grandchildren. With a bit of luck, your great-grandchildren, and those will only be fleeting memories. And those memories, as they grow, they will become less relevant. It's like I say about my father. I can't remember his voice. I can kind of remember what he looks like, but only be through 2D pictures that I've got photographs. Things go on, memories fade, and it's quite natural. Old people on the street, less relevant, less visible, not like young people striding out, making an impression, making an impact on the world, out there driving, enthusiasm, the verve, the drive to make that impact on the world, make a name for themselves. Old people tend to regress into themselves. Old people tend to close in, tend to want to be invisible. You just want to go about your day. You just want to go to that shop. You just want to do this. You want to do that. You don't want to cause any fuss. You don't want to be a trouble to anybody. You're invisible. You're getting invisible. People don't see you. People don't think about you. People don't engage you in conversation. And for me, that's great, because I don't particularly want people to engage me in conversation. But if they do, I will be civil, and I will probably come away from it saying, why don't I engage people in conversation more often? Because I enjoyed that. But I don't, and I probably won't. Then we go, all of us. And for the most part, we do it without fuss, nice and quietly. We don't want to be a nuisance, do we? Even in our time of extremists, we don't want to be a nuisance. We'll just do it nice and slowly and calmly and without fuss. And it doesn't matter, really, because when we're gone, somebody else will come to take our place. Ghosts appear and fade away. Well, that's all right. As long as you've been good and kind and happy while you've been here, that's fine. It's going to happen to us all. Just make sure you make the most of it while you're here. We will. We are. Molly has. I have. My mum has. And we shall see you on the flip. Peace and love.